Hey everybody, how's it going? In this video, we're going to practice more on arrays and how they work. Okay, so we have an array here. We're going to call it an array of numbers, so it's going to be nums. So nums is equal to 5, 11, 33, 24, 45, and let's say 80. Okay, so these are just pure random numbers. We want to add all the numbers here together to get the total. Okay, so what we do is we loop through every one of them. So we use let's use the first method. So for number in nums. So for every number in nums, let's add this number together, right? But we need something to store that value in. So we're going to say the total is equal to 0. So total is equal to total plus number. Okay? Once that is completely done, we can print out the total and get the actual value. Okay, great. Now we have the total here. So, and the total is 198. Let's check that. 5 plus 11 plus 33 plus 24 plus 45 plus 80 is indeed 198. Now, you remember the shorthand that we learned, which is basically removing this, and instead of all of this, just putting the plus here. Same thing. Because the other one is far too long. So let's just do this plus number. I put that comment here to show you that it is the same one as this. Okay. So now that we can loop effectively through that, let's use the other way. Let's comment this out. Okay, and let's loop using the index this time. So for I, or I'm just going to call it index in range len, this method, this len method function. Sometimes I use the method and function interchangeably. They're not the same thing, but if you see me saying method, I really mean function sometimes. Okay, so len nums. So from 0 up until the length of nums. We're going to add all the numbers to each other, okay? But in order to do that, I need something to store it in. So total is equal to 0. Total is equal to, so plus equal. So total is equal to total plus the number. So the nums at the index, current index. Okay, remember this is the same thing as this. So, but instead of number here, it's just simply going to be nums and index. Okay, same thing. Have a look at it. If you're confused, pause the video here, but it should be fine. Anyway, once that's done, print total. Yeah, print total, and you should still get 198. Okay, now let's forget about this. Let's move on to the next question, which is basically I want to multiply, so I want to get the product of all of that. Okay, to do so, then I need a value to store all the result. I'm just going to call it product. In the last one, the total was equal to 0. But since this is multiplication, if I multiply it by 0, it's going to be 0. So I'm going to need something like 1. So for number in nums, prod is equal to prod multiplied by number. Okay, let's make this smaller because I want to show it to you in action. Okay, and once that is done, I'm simply going to print out the prod. Okay, so let's run this. and the result is 1,815. So let's try this out. 5 multiplied by 11 multiplied by 33 is indeed 1,815. Okay. You've probably guessed an improvement here. We can simply just remove all of this and put a multiplication here, and it's going to be the same thing like before. Okay, great. Let's use the other method. So for index, I'm going to call it IDX, in range length, len. So we're going to use the function length on the array nums to get the length of the array nums. It's going to start from 0 all the way up to array, but not including the actual length of it, so without the upper bound. So, and the product, let's just reinitialize everything here again. Product is equal to 1. So prod is equal to multiplication equal, and nums at the current index. Once that is done, you print out prod. Okay. As you can see, it is the same value. Let's clear the screen, CLS. And that should be all good. Now, now that we're done with this video, right? But I want you to do something. I want you to get the product of all the numbers and the sum of all the numbers, and then divide them by each other. This is going to be your exercise. So go ahead and do that, and I want you to do it using both methods of looping in the for loop. And if you got time, try to make it into a function.